Story time on how I almost missed out on the man that God has for me, or the man that God had for me. Him, y'all. Okay, so he was my ex best friend cousin. And so, I've always seen him around or whatever. We used to do Bible study here and there. And one day he asked me, do I want to go out to eat? And I'm like, okay, sure. So we went out to eat. And at the time, I didn't like him. I didn't like him at all. It was just like a friendly date. I just said yes because he asked. And, on the date, I realized he liked me. Like, listen, y'all know how a guy act when they like you. So I'm like, oh, he really liked me, but I don't like him. So let me let him know now that I don't like him. So I told him, so he said, I'm looking for a second date. I'm looking forward to a second date. And I told him, I said, I'm not ready to date right now. I said, because at the time I was praying that God send me a husband, y'all. So I'm like, I'm not ready to date right now. I'm just waiting for God to send me my husband. I don't want any distractions.
And I said, well, your husband might be closer than you think. And we ain't got to call it a date. We can call it something else.
And he kept calling me future, y'all. And I'm like, why do you keep calling me future? And he's like, you will see, or we'll see. Let's not talk about that right now, or something like that. Something along the lines of that. And I'm like, no, like, I need to know why you keep calling me future. Because, like, I was telling him, like, there is no future between us. I was telling him, I said, you are a really nice guy. But, at the time, I wasn't interested. And I was telling him, like, he just kept telling me that God was telling him, basically, that I'm going to be his wife. And I was telling him, like, you need to go seek God again. Because God did not tell you that.
Look at here, y'all.